All right, so here we go with another seed. As you can see, I was able to find some moss and some spruce, which was good. And then I found this village and eventually just started mining away. We'll see how this goes. Here's a big cave opening. I did start this seed before the 1.19 update, but it did get updated. But this seed did get updated while I was playing it. Anyways, so yeah, so that was updated. Anyways, and so we started working on getting some iron in the big kind of cave area, which is actually kind of close to the village, the Plains village that I kind of landed at. Yeah, and I found the little dungeon area, and then I went back to mining a little bit closer to the village. And so when I went down to go get some diamonds, I ran into some zombies, but thankfully I was able to take them down. Yeah, so unfortunately the creeper popped up behind me, but I survived. Yeah, then I got some diamonds here. I also didn't, you can see me pondering. I also didn't worry about getting fortune this time around. I know how terrible, but I just kind of got tired of shuffling through librarians and stuff. So I just made myself a diamond pickaxe and called it good. Anyways, so then I started getting enough stuff to make a portal to the Nether. So while I'm doing that, be sure to leave a like if you liked it and subscribe. It takes a while to make these videos. Oh, and you can see this creeper popping up. I didn't notice him until I hit my pause screen. I was like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna do? You can see myself bracing for it. But yeah, so it takes me about 1 to 10 hours to make these videos, depending on how lucky my seeds are. So if you like them, let me know down below. Anyways, yeah, thankfully I was able to survive because at this point, as far as iron was concerned, I only had a helmet and some shoes, as you can see right there. The fact that the creeper didn't kill me was a bit of a shock. I had enough diamonds in order to make a sword, so I felt kind of comfortable going into the Nether, and I popped in and I got kind of lucky because I was near I don't know what type of biome they are, but it's a biome. Anyways, then I ran across this crimson biome, which was really unfortunate because it's got all of these like hoglins, which we know from the last video didn't go very well. But this time I was able to tower up and take them down without too much damage. So we quickly took them out and made our retreat back to the overworld, where I started building a yarn farm because I wanted to have more villagers, because I knew that I was going to need one of the ones that you get from a brewing stand because of the Eye of Enders. Anyways, so the description of the wool farm is down below. Then at night, this villager nearly tried to kill me by letting in a zombie, which was unfortunate. Thankfully, I scooted back far enough so that it kind of left. And then the villager left and the zombie started to chase him. And while they were doing that, I quickly boarded up the entrance because door privileges were no longer a thing for this villager, because we know from before that it is quite dangerous. Then a creeper decided that he was going to try and destroy my wool farm, which was actually finally working. There was a lot of user error involved in it. I tried a couple of other farms too. I didn't show them because it's somebody else's tutorial. Anyways, then I decided I was going to head off to go get some blaze rods. As you can see, I've got some enchanted diamond armor. This all I got from trading villagers. I didn't actually mine any of that or actually individually enchant it. I eventually made it to another fortress, which was, a big accomplishment, and decided to start fighting the blaze rods. Or no, I get blaze rods, blazes, or yeah, fighting them. Anyways, I was fighting the flying fiery balls of death. As you can see here, I got kind of lucky because this area was relatively closed off, which kind of limited the places that they could spawn. And as I fought them, I kind of tried to seal it off as much as possible. As you can see, occasionally they would get a little bit closer, but I did pretty good as far as fighting them. The biggest issue that I ran into was when I headed into the nether. Though I had all the armor and stuff, I didn't bring a lot of food. So I ended up having to occasionally go back and get some more food in the overworld, which was a bit of a bummer because I would have liked to have gotten all of this in one go. As you can see, I was doing quite a bit of trading in order to do this so that I could buy all of the ender pearls that I could get. Anyways, so I could make the Eye of Enders with my blaze powder and find my way to the stronghold and take down the boss. Anyways, I decided to make an ender chest because I've seen people use that before and I thought that would be kind of handy. So I made myself my very first ender chest, which was very exciting and a little nerve-wracking. But anyways, so I used it and filled it with all my prized possessions, and then I hit it with my pickaxe and realized that I needed silk touch. So I had to make some more ender eyes and make sure that I had enough so that when I ended up heading to the place where I could fight the dragon or whatever, that I'd be able to access all of the stuff that I put in there. You can see all the wool that I built up. I figured I would use those for my building blocks when I go to fight the dragon because I figured that those would be the fastest for me to pick up and set down. And so with that, we headed off to go and find the stronghold. We tossed it up and caught it and carried on with our journey, hoping that we had enough. I thought about making enough for the whole thing, but I figured that I would at least make it to the stronghold and do that. So then we eventually started digging our way down to finding the stronghold, and thankfully it wasn't too bad. There weren't too many dangerous openings and stuff. There was one area where it got a little bit dodgy, but I was able to make our way back around and eventually reach the point that I kind of wanted it to get to. I figured at some point I would widen this out and make a kind of a nicer drop down for it, but at this point it's best just to get down there when you can. Anyways, so as you can see, I found the stronghold, which was very exciting. And you can't really see it, but I actually hit like the portal room area, which was ideal. So I quickly placed a block where I could, and you can sort of see it there. And then I realized that all of these silverfish started spawning and I was like, oh, this is not good. You can see, there it is. There's the opening and there are all the silverfish. And so I started hitting them as I was going, and then I realized that they were kind of spawning in the hallway next to me, as you can see there. So I put that there and I put that there, which was a mistake because then they could climb up to hit me, and so I kept trying to hit them back so that I could move the block so they can do it. Then they knocked me down, and so then I went back up to try and hit them, and then I ended up getting trapped in between the two areas. And I had diamond armor, which was allowing me to fight them off, but I couldn't really figure out how I was supposed to block them off from fighting me, so I kept on jumping up and trying to hit them, but the ceiling wasn't high enough. And so then I started trying to move over here and do it over here, but then they kept on cornering me, and so I slowly started to die. And I died to a silverfish.